Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Snowrunner, and today we are doing starting the power plant. Now this is a contract which is in the new phase 3 region of Wisconsin, and if we jump back to the map you might have seen it for a split second at the start of the screen there. My apologies. Go over to contracts. It is in the Nanogon infrastructures, and as you can see there it's starting the power plant. What it entails is we need 8 fuel cargo containers times 2, metal beams times 2, and consumables times 2. Now I am in the Forerun D. This is the JBE version, hence why the bigger tyres, the better suspension, and the supplies on the roof. Also, there's been a lot of trouble with mods at the moment. Some of you may be experiencing it with the older consoles. You guys with the new consoles, especially the Series X, shouldn't be having any issues whatsoever. But in order to do this contract, like I said, all of the list is there. As you can see on the back, I have got the 2 metal beams and the 2 consumables ready to go. And we are over here just by the garage. The garage is just here. If I put the marker to the top as we do, and it's just to the right here. This is cargo creation zone 1. I do have the other trailers all set up. Now on a side note, any of you that have been watching some of these videos, not just from me but from other creators, in regards to the generators, as you can see I've got a massive fuel tanker parked up next to my generator. Now the generator, even when it's switched on, it's not using fuel until you actually pick up a piece of cargo, or should I say not pick up a piece of cargo but craft a piece of cargo. In other words, when you go into open store and you click over to craft, as you can see fuel required 100, fuel in generator is 1050. That's because I've actually created some cargo. So don't be worried about leaving the generators on. Obviously once you leave the game and you come back to the game, the generators are going to be switched off, so you will have to start them back up again, but you can leave them running. You're not going to waste any fuel. It's purely using fuel to create your cargo. So that all being said, let's get the handbrake off, get the engine running, and let's get this contract done. So back to the map real quick. I'm going to be coming back down the mountain, back through this piece of mud here. This piece of mud is really annoying, but the rest of the map, I don't know how you lot feel about it, but I'm enjoying it at the moment. It's pretty easy to navigate. There's lots to do. Get to the fuel station. I'm going to hang a left, hang a right, sorry, and we'll go in there and quickly zoom out. As you can see, I've got the other 2 trailers over there. So at your crafting site, at this one, at zone 1, you can craft metal beams and your cargo. Just jump back in real quick. When it comes to crafting, you can do cement, metal beams, consumables, concrete slabs, concrete blocks. So make sure I don't make a mess of this now coming down. And yes, there is a piece of cargo balancing on the top there, but you guys have probably already done this in the past as well. So swing that trailer around. Come up again. Need to swing a little bit more sooner. Let's get that trailer down there. So yeah, this is the Voron D by JBE. Until the 3880 comes back, we're all having to find substitute trucks, and this is the one I've gone for. So straighten that up. Really, unlock the wheels there and start to bring that trailer around. Don't you dare tip over. Thank you very much. a jackknife there, but hey ho. Round we go. You're really not going to let me have that checkpoint right until I reverse back a bit more. Thank you. Right, let's get this first one dropped off. There we go. Just needed a little bit of encouragement. Yeah, I found this to be the best truck so far. I've gone through quite a few of them, but JBE with his transmission and his big engines, and the option of being able to put the big mud tyres on. Now a couple of them I've got just the standard muds. I've got quasis on a couple that you'll see later on these change trucks, and I've also used some of the Yar wheels. Like I said, this section here, any of you that have already played it will be well aware exactly how disgusting this mud really is. It really is struggling with these gears. Come on. Alright, let's give you a bit of low plus. It's an awful lot of weight that it's pulling, I suppose, but it should handle it nonetheless. I can see automatic. In fact, will it kick it into high? No, it doesn't want to know high at the moment. Should do now. There we go. So yeah, starting the power plant would probably be my first thing to do once I've opened up the map and opened up the bridges. Purely because you're going to have to get the rest of the machinery running. There is a paper plant that needs running, and there's also a brick building plant. My English is terrible today. A brick production plant, I should state, that needs running, and neither of those will run. You won't be able to create anything until the power plant itself has actually been set up and running. That's why this is one of the first contracts that you'll see me doing. Will we be able to keep hold of those consumables on there is my next question. There's only one more bit of roughness here. Hopefully it'll stay on. No, it won't. Spoke too soon. Let's crane that back up real quick. I could have used a longer trailer and a wider trailer, but it just makes the game more interesting if you challenge yourself. Put that back on there. Obviously once we get to the destination, it'll unload what's already there. We'll just pack that one and unlock that as well. So it's not a very large mission to be doing, but I'd say it is one of the most essential ones, so you can get yourself prepared for doing the paper mill and the brick production. I haven't gone into too much detail with the contracts and that to see what else would need to be opened, but it seems the most obvious choice to get the power plant up and running first. And a right, and it's gone again. any problems with the next lot. So I've had a few comments from a few of you subscribers as well, and just general passers-by to the channel, that they've noticed that there's still problems with the mods. Yes, there is still problems with the mods. If you did watch my previous video, you'll understand that they are doing the best that they can to stabilise the game. Let's drop that off. And basically, if you've got one of the older consoles, which I've got, I'm still waiting for them to bring back the Xbox Series X into the stores over here in the UK. So once that's done, I'll be getting the new Series X, and hopefully I won't get any more issues. But I think the general consensus for most of you is that you'd like to be using 3, maybe 4 mods in the game. Now, like I said, I've got this, which is by JBE. Now this is only 20.1, I think, megabytes, because it's actually a vanilla truck with just a couple of added extras but on the side. So I'm quite happy to use this truck and another one of the JBEs, which is the Royal BM17. I know he's got others out there. They use very little in the way of RAM, so that way it's easier. That's that menu. And the game's deciding to be a little bit of a pain, so I'm going to jump over here now. And as you can see, I'm in another Voron. Let's take the fuel. So it's the same again. This is Creation Zone 2. Creation Zone 2 is going to give you your pipe selection. You've got the small, the medium and the large pipes to create there. It's going to need a generator, as you can just see in the background, to power it all up. Different types of cargo will require different amounts of fuel. The lowest being 100 litres per piece, and the highest, which I think so far is the large pipe, which is 200 litres to create. So I'll have to bear that in mind. Now another part of the map which is deeming a little bit difficult. Am I going to keep hold of this cargo is my next question. And it's just as you come round to this right. Now if you hug this right hand wall, or left hand, whichever way you look at it when you approach, that's going to be your safest option. In that reads, just hug the wall. A bit like Alaska, when you go down to get the big rig in Alaska. It's low plus. Camera doing its usual thing of going where it wants to go, doing what it always wants to do on its own without hesitation. It's automatic. I think we might lose that back set of barrels. Let's see how we get on. And there it goes. I had a feeling that was going to happen. that up. Just put it on the top of here for now. There we go. Restore the crane. Really don't want them tipping over again. And as before, the right turn here into the power plant. Get the fuel dropped off, and then we should have just the 2 cargo containers left to do. And that should be the power plant. Ooh, nice and gently. That should be the power plant. Up and running. Cargo. Now whether or not these will pack is another thing. They will. Back to cargo. And that is our fuel dropped off. And this one out the way. And we'll jump in to the other truck and pick up the 2 cargo containers. Now I wasn't going to mention this, but I am going to mention it now. Just for conversation's sake, is I did have the Royal BM set up before, and with the Royal BM you actually get extra trailers with quasi wheels on the back of it. Now, like an idiot, I unsubscribed to the Royal. Why I had to, I can't quite remember, but I unsubscribed to it. I think it was just purely by accident. And as I did, when I returned to my game, my trailers were missing. Because I had the trailers with the quasi wheels on. So this is actually my second attempt at loading up all this cargo to do this run, to show you guys where to pick the items up, how to craft them, and also to cover the generators. Now a lot of people have been going in, hooking up, turning the generators on, crafting their cargo, jumping back in the truck, going over, switching the generators back off. There's no need. You will have to switch them on when you start your game. But if you switch them on, leave them on, as long as there's fuel in there, you're only using fuel to craft your generators. To craft your cargo, sorry, not your generators. It will not sit there running and the fuel will run out of it. It's purely to craft your cargo. Into high, will it pop? No, I didn't think it would. Jump in the map real quick, let's turn it back to daylight. There you go, nice sunny day. Turn them lights off, don't need them on. No worries about any cargo tipping on this one. Down the road. So bear in mind I've been at this for 20 minutes, but prior to this, the setup time, getting all the trucks ready, taking them down, I've spent about 2.5–3 hours setting it all up. So bear that in mind if you're playing it in single player. You know, it's a lot of setup time, especially if you're only going to be using one truck to do all of it. I've used the 3 just to speed up the process for you guys. So last 2 items, and there you go, contract complete. We've got 15,850 in cash and 1,960 in XP. So nice little earner there. So if you've enjoyed this episode, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the notifications bell. Keep you up to date on everything that I release. In the meantime, guys, thanks for watching. Leave your comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.